Well, we were feeling Minnesota in California last weekend. A pair of riders for the land of 10,000 lakes, Ryan Dungey and Alex Martin, won our previous round at Glen Helen in California. Can they keep it going today? We're hitting Colorado next.
After 2 rounds, Alex Martin is the surprise points leader in the 250 class.
Alex Martin has won his first ever Lucas Oil Pro Motocross overall.
In the 450 class, rivals Ken Roczen and Ryan Dungey have split the overall victories in California.
He's going to go 1-1 and serve notice that he's ready to try to take his championship back. With a first and a second today, Ryan Dungey takes Glen Helen.
The championship moves to Colorado.
Oh, James Stewart is down.
This second moto.
And Roczen's down again. Oh, no. Huge crash. He's not getting up. I don't know if he has any intent of getting back into this race. Ryan Dungey wins here in Colorado.
The gate is set to drop on America's premier motocross championship.
The Rocky Mountains welcome round number 3 of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship, sanctioned by AMA Pro Racing. It's the True Value Thunder Valley National from Lakewood, Colorado. Jason Wygant joined by multi-time motocross and supercross champion Grant Langston. Let's show you where we are with this championship. Last week in California, Ken Roczen was dominating on his Suzuki until problems with the front suspension late in the first moto cost him. He dropped from 1st to 4th, couldn't jump the jumps.
Yeah, that's so frustrating for him. You can see it, but that opened the door for Ryan Dungey. He takes his first moto win of the season. He knows he got a little lucky, but you'll take it any way you get him.
Yeah, still chasing Roczen as far as overall speed is concerned. In the 250 division, a sweep by the Yamaha riders. Brothers Alex and Jeremy Martin go 1-2. Cooper Webb a solid 3rd. We'll see if anyone can break up that party in blue today. Now, here are your top stories coming into this. Last year, Colorado native Eli Tomac crashed while leading. He had won every race until this point, hurt both shoulders, and after surgery was out for the rest of the season. So he's looking for revenge today, and this morning certainly looked good in practice with the fastest qualifying time. So maybe the track that owes him one, he'll get exactly what he wants with a victory today. In the 250 class, a top story, we mentioned those Yamaha riders sweeping it last week, but kind of an upset. Jeremy Martin is the 2-time champ of the series. Alex Martin, his older brother, is now the points leader. Joey Savacci is the Kawasaki man trying to break that up.
Yeah, he sure is. You saw, and there again, your defending champion, Jeremy Martin, last week had to take a step down on the podium from his older brother on his first win, but still great to see that. I believe there's going to be a lot more good racing come.
Well, 4 points separate 4 riders in that 250 class right now. Here's your 411. We'll race 2 classes today, 250cc motorcycles and the 450cc engines coming up in the next hour. They each ran a moto earlier today. We'll combine it with the races you're about to see to determine the weekend's overall winners. So on the 250s, let's show you that first moto, which took place a little over an hour ago.
Early on, you see a lot of blue in the first turn. Cooper Webb gets his, according to him, first hole shot maybe ever.
Yeah.
And he would lead this for a while, but he'd have a ton of pressure from behind.
Yeah, well, again, all those Yamahas were there. The 26 of Alex Martin, your points leader, and the 23 of Plessinger, 2 of them crash while in 3rd and 4th. But there's still 2 Yamahas up front. The 1 of Jeremy Martin now pressing Cooper Webb for the lead.
Yeah, Martin kept putting the pressure on down at the end of the end zone, went the long way around, railed that, made it happen, and he would start trying to check out.
But watch the bike in green. It was 1, 2, 3, 4 Yamaha early. 2 of them crashed, and then Joey Savacci went to work on the other 2. First, he passes Cooper Webb for 2nd.
And right when you thought the number 37 of Joey Savacci had this race under control, somewhere out of camera, he throws it away. But before that, he would just go up the inside here of Jeremy Martin. Just a power move. I don't think Martin expected that at all. Otherwise, he would have closed the door. Savacci would start moving on, but he'd throw it away and give it right back to Jeremy Martin.
Take it any way you can get it. So Martin did get passed by Savacci, gets him back when Savacci falls. Your defending champ has now 2 straight Moto wins. He won the second Moto last week out in California. Savacci did recover for second over Webb, and Alex Martin, who was way back after that early crash, salvaged an
What
eighth.
a comeback, what a comeback.
It's GoPro starting gate. Georgia Lindsay has Alex Martin.
Alex Martin, you had your first overall win last weekend. Coming into this weekend, that was an unfortunate first Moto for you. What happened? And obviously finishing 8th, it's not bad. You're still getting points, but what's your thoughts going into the second Moto?
Yeah, not the greatest start there, and it was basically the star teammates running 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I was behind Aaron, and just coming down in that downhill right-hand sweeper, he just got a little cross-rutted and tipped over, and the bike just totally cleaned me off my bike. So, you know, I think I was 25th or farther back, so I had to come up a long ways to get up to 8th, and it was, you know, it's a long series, and that stuff's going to happen. It kind of sucks that it happened right there today, but, you know, it was damage control for sure. We were able to get a lot of points and just try and get a good start and get up front this Moto.
After 2 rounds, the top 4 riders are currently within just 4 points of 250 leader Alex Martin. Who will claim the championship momentum at round 3? 250 Moto 2 from Thunder Valley is coming up when Lucas Oil Pro Motocross returns to...
Back here about to drop the gate in the second 250 Moto of the day. Here's Kawasaki track Matt Grant Langston take us on a tour.
Yep. You drop that gate and go up this hill here at Lakewood, Colorado. Get up that first turn, past the, you see the control tower there on the right-hand side. Drop down, hopefully get that hole shot, which everyone's going for. And then back up this long hill. It's got a nice couple jumps, then this little hip jump, soak it up, then back on the gas to the top part of the track, as you can see. Then drop down, and then right here, these braking bumps become very intense in the second Moto. Opportunity for passing or possibly a mistake. Then turn that left-hander, come back up the hill. Then right here, they actually make a sharp right and go straight back down the hill. And we saw from that Lit Pro earlier how fast they come down this hill. They drop down 14 feet off the step down and clock pretty close to 60 miles an hour and slow down to somewhere closer to 20. Then through this switchback, right, left, right section, over this big Red Bull triple step up, and then right in front of the fans through the big sweeping left-hander. They've actually tightened this corner up. It's a little more of a left-right. Then you got this nice bold turn up here. Drop down again. A lot of elevation around here. Make a right, step up, past where all the teams and trucks are, over the Lucas Oil, another triple step up that's been changed. Make that left, and then this cost Savacci in the first Moto, the win was right there. Make this right 180, get on the gas, lean back, and then of course, past the Fran Mechanics area, make a right over the finish line, hopefully get that checkered flag first.
Now you mentioned the section that cost Savacci when he had the lead, but we'll show you how he got it. Lit Pro going to give us some race insight. Lit Pro, a GPS device on the top of Savacci's helmet. Here's where he took the lead.
Yeah, well, look at this the stats on the side there. You see the miles an hour. Obviously, we don't quite know what Cooper Webb's doing, but we know it's a few mile an hour less through there. Makes it happen. That's at the part of the track at the bottom. This is the pass to the lead. Now watch this. Savacci just at the inside. Look at that mile an hour. It dipped barely to 24, but if you're not going below 20 miles an hour through some of those tight turns, you're doing well. Here we go. KTM keys to the Moto. We have long ruts here at this racetrack, and we've seen it take guys down over the years. Of course, we're at altitude. You have to control your breathing. If your breathing gets out of control, we know you can be fit, you're done. And of course, the pressure of the red plate, we have seen it. Everyone that's had the red plate has seemed to, I don't want to say choke, but have a rough time holding on to it. Who's going to leave here with the red plate?
It has flip-flopped quite a bit. I mean, Joey Savacci dominated the first race of the year, then stumbled big time in the second round, and then was the fastest rider in our first Moto earlier today. And Jeremy Martin, who's had some off Motos, ended up winning that first Moto after Savacci went down. Fly Racing 30-second card is up. That means it's almost time to rock and roll and go racing.
I'm telling you what, if Alex Martin rides with that chip on the shoulder like he did after he went down that first Moto with a good start, I'm putting my money on him, but we'll have to wait and see. This is going to be very interesting.
Now, Alex Martin, easy to pick out. He still has that red number plate because he's the points leader coming into today's racing. I believe Jeremy Martin is the active points leader after you calculate Moto 1. Forget about that. Let's just go racing Moto 2 right now.
Watch gate between 5 and 10. Here we go. Oh, A-Mark did not get a good start.
Oh! Big pile of several riders are down. That might have been Oldenburg, one of the Troy Lee riders, and a whole shot for Adam Cincerillo. Haven't seen him up front in a while, and he's got it right now with Savacci, his teammate right there, and Savacci not messing around.
Man, why don't we just mix things
Oldenburg.
up? Oldenburg down there, you see Jeff from AMA, he's the official. He's trying to figure out what decision do you make if riders are injured in a dangerous position.
Yeah.
They may throw the red flag, hopefully not at this point, but how about that? Cincerillo gets a whole shot, but straight away Savacci just going, I got some damage control. I should have won that first moto. I went down. I'm going to make sure I win the second one. But I saw right out of the gate, sorry guys, but Alex Martin got pitched off right like 3-4 feet out of the gate, so I know he's probably buried in the pack right now.
Cincerillo putting some heat back on Savacci, and they've got the 30 of Shane McElrath, the orange bike, right with them. Also, Martin Davalos, a good start, and he quickly takes the measure of McElrath, then bobbles on his own, and McElrath tries to get him back. This track, it is treacherous. Even Jeremy Martin are completely feet off the pegs in 5th.
Wow. So anyway, crazy opening lap here in Moto 2.
Davalos. I can't keep up with all this.
But little different looking on the opening lap from the first moto. I mean, it was just looked like a Yamaha commercial in the first moto. They were like 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we've got 2 Kawasaki's, a Husqvarna, KTM, and then your first of your Yamahas, Jeremy Martin, who won that first moto. There he is, 5th place. But how about that? Alex Martin in the top 10 after being basically buried off the start gate. So he really made the most of that. Probably tucked to the inside when everyone was battling, and then swept around the outside of turn 2 is my guess.
And there was that pile up, which probably slowed a few guys. Not slowed at all is Jeremy Martin here on the number 1. Down to the inside on the 30 of McElrath, can't make the pass. So there you see Davalos in white, he's 3rd. 4th is McElrath, 5th, Jeremy Martin.
And then Faulkner.
Didn't see much of Faulkner in the first moto. The rookie, who had been so strong to start this year, was not a factor in Moto 1, but he's there in 6th early here in the second moto.
And then he better not take a look over his shoulder, because behind him he's got Alex Martin, Mitchell Harrison, and Cooper Webb. So 3 star racing Yamaha riders right behind the young phenom on the 214. There you see him go, and then it's just blue. Wow, Alex Martin.
Right there.
He's made up positions. I think he actually passed Webb and Harrison because he was behind them earlier. So opening lap craziness.
Yeah, well, if these guys keep battling, Alex is going to be right with them. You've got Faulkner putting pressure on Jeremy Martin. Faulkner 17th in Moto 1. But looking to put that behind him right now and put Jeremy Martin behind him as well.
Faulkner does not look like a 17th place rider in Moto 2, so whether it's a start or some changes, he looks great. He's going after Moto 1 winner.
Yes, but no matter how great he's riding, these guys are powerless to stop the charge of Alex Martin, who's now right there. You see the red plate creeping in on this battle.
He is riding like a man possessed. Maybe that crash early in the first moto was kind of what he needed, because it set the tone, and he is just cutting through the pack. We saw at the end of the first moto, I mean, he was a hot knife through butter. Just went from 16th to 8th, and that is huge, Jason. We know about the points. Look, he's still running the red background right now. Changed his gear up a little bit, went to the more conservative corporate Yamaha blue look.
Yeah, he had it all red to match that red number plate, signifying he is the points leader in the first moto. All right, he's trying to get Faulkner. Faulkner's trying to get Jeremy Martin. Jeremy Martin is trying to get McElrath, who's trying to get Davalos. Great racing, as always, in the 250 class of Lucas Oil Pro Motocross here on NBCSN. Faulkner in green, the rookie sandwiched between a couple of brothers who've been at this for quite some time. Jeremy and Alex Martin. Meanwhile, your leader, Savacci's got a 2.5 seconds on Cincerillo.
Oh, look at this side by side. Oh, a little over jump there. And these guys are pushing. Look at that. Amar he is going for it today. I love this. Watch this. Now he's on his brother, but Alex Martin is riding this track like a man possessed. He has got, I mean, he's just fired up. He looks like he's just angry at the moment. And I think that little bit of extra aggression is just what is taking him to that next level. And we haven't seen this from Alex Martin, in my opinion, ever.
No, he is an 8th-year pro and is all of a sudden going to a much higher level. You don't see that happen very often. Georgia, what do you have on the 26?
It it's so hard to say that Alex Martin has an aggressive bone in his body, but definitely for him, he's definitely got this second win where he wants to prove himself. He knew his speed in the first moto. I think he was actually happy with that 8th place. I spoke to him after qualifying this morning, and he said, you know what, I don't feel pressure, but I'm having fun. I feel strong, and I've changed up a lot of stuff in this past year. I've been more in the gym, and I think he's in a good mental place, a physical place, and he's got a great bike between his legs.
He just blew past his brother and the two-time and defending series champ in 2 corners.
That's not supposed to happen.
No, and now he's going right after Shane McElrath, and he's about to get him too. Are you kidding me? What has gotten into Alex Martin?
I mean, like I said, something happened in that first motor. That crash just changed. Oh!
I almost threw it away. A little wet. Some water down on the landing of that.
You know what's crazy is when you're in this kind of zone, those things can happen. It doesn't phase you. It doesn't make you back off. It actually makes you more dialed in and more focused. So I'm expecting the man with the red background, not the #1 plate on his bike, but I'm expecting more out of him than our defending champion with the #1 plate. So Alex Martin really running a great pace, both motos, as well as, you know, qualifying looked good. And we said the pressure of the red plate, not quite the result first moto that Alex wanted, but we know that he did go down in that, right, this section here, coming in this corner. We saw him and his teammate Plessinger picking their bikes up.
And now we know it wasn't even Alex's fault. It was Plessinger that crashed and collected him. But as well as he's riding, he's only 4th. Davalos is 3rd. Oh, Jeremy Martin almost off the track. Davalos 3rd. Cincerulo is 2nd. And Savaggi has a 2-second lead. So we'll see if Alex can try to run those guys down. Jeremy going after Shane McElrath to try to get into 5th.
What I love right now is 9 seconds between the top 8. This has got set up for a great race.
We're just getting started here. We're at a mile high of elevation in Colorado. Davalos in 3rd, just went down. Things are heating up. We're back here in Colorado for Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. Joey Savaggi continues to lead this second 250 moto. I misspoke. I thought it was our 3rd place rider, Martin Davalos, who went down just as we went to break. It was actually the 2nd place rider, Adam Cincerulo, is just in the corner of our camera cut. So now Davalos is 2nd, and Cincerulo took a while to get back up. Now, as for Davalos, the Rockstar Husqvarna team, some tough luck for his teammate in the 450 class earlier today, Jason Anderson. Georgia Lindsay has more on that.
Yes, it is a great race for Martin right now, but yes, the 21 of Jason Anderson, he pulled off in that first moto. He said he was struggling with altitude sickness. It's happened before in the past, and the more it happens, the more you get it very easily. I think it's complete sickness, breathing, stomach, everything. So he actually has left the track already. He's gone to get a plane home to get himself ready. It's something you can't mess with here. A lot of people get altitude sickness, so he's taken the right steps by just being safe. And then his teammate, Christophe Pourcel, he ended up with an 8th place in that last moto. So guys, stay tuned for the second 450 moto after this.
Interesting stuff. I mean, the altitude really can affect people. You can be in great shape. It affects everyone a little bit differently. And I said, you know, keys to the moto, control your breathing. And I'm not speaking for Jason Anderson, but if that gets out of control, you can feel like you're going to actually like have a heart attack or die type feeling. And it's obviously not a great feeling. And once you get that sick, at this level, there's no way you can actually physically come back and try and line up for Moto 2. So, sad situation.
But meanwhile, Davalos, teammate, team press release this week, he said, I'm from Ecuador. I like the elevation. I'm used to it. And he is riding one of the best outdoor motos we've ever seen him put in. But here comes this guy's jaws of this class right now. He is the shark in the water. Alex Martin through the pack, picked off about 5 riders, but on lap 2. Probably passed more riders on lap 1 because he had a terrible start just to even get to that position. Now that he's 3rd, he's not done. They're trying to run the leaders down as brother Jeremy comes by.
Well, he passed his brother and he's put distance between him and his brother. So that doesn't happen very often. But, there we see on the right hand of the corner, Cincerulo on the pits. But look at Faulkner. Faulkner trying to get McElrath up that hill there. The lines almost come together. Disappointing end to the day for Cincerulo, but let's get back to this battle up the inside. Faulkner, has he got it? Whoa! No! McElrath just says, boom, there's the door, and I'm closing it.
Almost had front wheel to rear wheel contact, and Faulkner doesn't back off from this challenge. Goes right back after him.
He clipped that plastic, whatever you call it, for the inside, the barrier. And he would have clipped it with his front brake lever. So that can be dangerous when you land the front wheels locked, tuck the front end. Don't want to do that. Now, going to the inside. McElrath trying everything to close the door. Not this time. So the young rookie of Faulkner just really, his maturity is almost years above his age.
Yeah, several close calls, and he didn't bobble once, and finally made it happen.
Well, with youngsters, close calls don't mean anything to them. To them, that's racing. It's when they get older, it's the close calls that makes guys nervous. I think for them, it's when they pass guys, it's just, it's like a confidence booster. It's almost like getting a shot of adrenaline.
I'm going to show you this track and what it looks like to be on board. We have some GoPro helmet footage from earlier today. It's our GoPro track preview right off the gate in Moto 1.
On board with Shane McElrath, who we're just chatting about. See what happens here. Runs it in deep, just trying to get some clear daylight. Puts it up the inside. Look at that. Comes out with a decent start. Oh, you see Savachi going, I got this spot.
Walking the tightrope down the inside was McElrath, but then he doesn't get the drive from the inside. Couldn't get a good run at this hill. Loses a couple of spots.
Just listen to these 250 scream.
And man, these bikes labor up the hills. They lose, the 250s aren't very fast in the first place. They lose more power at altitude. It's like slower than a three-toed sloth out there on those up hills, and he's losing positions. Back here in Colorado, and the Colorado native, Andrew Short, is about to embark in our 450 show the next hour in his final race at his home state track. He has great memories, though, of racing here at his home facility.
Some of the biggest highlights of my career was, for sure, Motocross of Nations here in Colorado. Motocross of Nations doesn't come to the United States very often, let alone Colorado, to a track I grew up riding. So to win there and be a part of a three-man team that won that, those are the moments I'll never forget.
And we'll have more about Andrew Short and the final season of his long and distinguished pro career a little later on in this show when we roll into the 450 class in the next hour. But things have heated up in the 250 division. Here's 1, 2, 3, all in the same shot. Alex Martin in third is going after Martin Davalos.
Alex Martin's been phenomenal, and the race has gone by so fast, Jason. We've already passed that 15-minute mark.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Oh, less than 15 minutes now. And in about that amount of time, you could save 15% or more in your insurance if you call Geico. But if you call them, make sure you keep your eyes glued to the TV set here, because we are about to have some action. Martin Davalos on the inside in white Rockstar Husky, Yamaloop Star Racing Yamaha. Alex Martin has just been on a rail today, and he runs the rail around the outside and takes second.
Alex Martin has just been, since going down early in Moto 1, has just been a man possessed. He's got the eye of the tiger, and he is flying. Just gets around Davalos, who's been having a fantastic moto. We're just saying probably the moto of his career. Keeping in touch with Joey Savachi, only a couple seconds back. But Alex Martin is just flying right now. You know, Savachi had that first moto, you could say, somewhat under wraps. Threw it away late in the moto, said a lap rider kind of obstructed his vision. And, you know, it's not really an excuse. Those things do happen, I think. But now this is going to be mano a mano. You know, Savachi and then Alex Martin, our points leader, the guy who I feel like really wants to come back and prove something in Moto 2. He got 8th first moto, but he was 16th with about 3.5 laps to go. And he has carried this just intensity from Moto 1 to Moto 2. I got a feeling within the next couple laps, he's going to close that gap down and put the pressure on Savachi. There's Davalos.
All right, so Davalos dropping just a little bit. Like you said, it's going to be down to these two. Nice new line there from Alex Martin, not hitting a lot of the rough stuff or the deep ruts. Does have to do it in this corner. So two different riders with two different things to prove. Certainly, Savachi in the lead, upset that he had that first moto in his grasp and he crashed it away. So he's got some vengeance on the mind. Same thing for Alex Martin, who was so fast early. He had a crash, he had to mount a comeback. So they both want to win this second one badly, and they both have a great opportunity to do it. Behind them is Davalos. Jeremy Martin is 4th. Faulkner 5th. McElrath, Tonus up to 7th. Good ride for him. Cooper Webb is 8th. Webb has struggled a bit in the second motos. He's riding with a wrist injury, not able to ride during the week, and that's taking a toll on him in the second motos. So Webb just trying to persevere. 9th is Jesse Nelson, and Zach Osborne, who had a good run in the first moto, but 4th is in 10th right now.
If we have a look at the lap times as they cross the finish line from that last lap, our leader, Joey Savacci, 2:14. Alex Martin, 2:13, the only rider in the 13s right now. He's the fastest man on the track. The guy on screen, the red background. He's got some pressure, and he's never, you know, at the pro ranks led a championship, been, call it the guy to beat, and he is really living up to it today. So behind them, the top 3, you got Jeremy Martin, his brother, then Faulkner, solid ride. But outside the top 10, even looking down, we see Plessinger in 12th place, and not the day Plessinger was hoping for. He had a great ride, first moto, went down, now another dismal ride. Georgia, what do you got for us?
Yes, I'm down here in the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki pits at the number 44 of Adam Cincerillo. He came back into the pits. I saw him get off his bike, take his shirt off, go into the semi. I think he's doing okay, maybe a little bashed up from that crash, but I'm sure they're going to get the bike all sorted and get ready for High Point in 2 weeks.
All right, so good. No major injuries for a guy who has been through some tough times in the last few years. And we'll have more insight to the life of Adam Cincerillo as he tries to rebuild his career when we return.
I don't think there's a lot of people that could have gone through what I've gone through. My dad and I would be out on the track for hours and hours, and sometimes I would be doing a corner wrong. We'd fill the bike up with gas and we'd go hit that corner until I ran out of gas.
I thought you looked good. You fixed what you needed to fix and you're not doing that. You know?
People would ask me, they would say, you're so much faster than everybody. What people don't understand about me is I'm always searching for more.
Your worst corner of the entire day is like now your best corner.
So those days that you saw me when I looked invincible, on the drive home, I remember talking to my dad about how terrible I was in my corners. And my technique wasn't good. That's not gonna get me to where I wanna be as a pro. And that's exactly how I always looked at it. When people say, oh man, you had it so perfect then, how do you deal with it now? It's because in my mind, it wasn't perfect, it was a work in progress.
And that's just a small sample of the insight that you get on Red Bull TV. Go to redbull.tv/MXNation to watch all the episodes. We'll be following the 250 riders this year after a great season. Last year, following Ken Roxon and Ryan Dungey, triadomitis, and everybody does a spectacular job getting inside the lives of these riders.
That's the key, is they show you things that you don't normally see, which is cool to see. Which we don't normally see is Alex Martin being the guy we're talking about as the dominator. He has just been on rails today, and we said it, he's been coming on Savacci, but Savacci is pushing. So here we also see a battle brewing for third. Martin Davalos will be coming to the picture. There he is, and right behind him, Jeremy Martin. The Martin brothers trying to both be on the podium once again.
Yes, and both of them known for their fitness and getting strong late in the race. So Alex going to try to take off over the lead, and Jeremy going to try to take over third. Oh, and those ruts really slowed up Jeremy Martin, but he won't back off. He's on the left side here. That'll be the inside of the next corner.
Talking about those deep ruts, it's not often you see the skid plate hooking, exiting a corner when mud's coming off the side of these machines. But the riders said in practice, they ripped the track good. They you know, almost said it was overwatered, but they all know that part of that is to make it good for this time late in the second moto. Look at that, multiple line options. So it opens it up. See the guys moving more to the outside. So it's a lot of experimenting, as well as line selection is crucial at this point in the race. Look at that front fender of Martin's bike. Look at it, just flopping around. So I've got to assume something that just becomes really annoying. It's not slowing him down. It's just.
Yeah, but a lot of the guys, you do see that in your vision, right?
It is in your vision. Hopefully he's looking above and past it. But if you look at the top of the screen right now, running order, it also will give you where they are standing for event points for the day. Savacci would be your overall winner with a 2-1, which is 22 points, and then 25 for a total of 47. Jeremy Martin would be second, 4 points behind Alex Martin. So that would put Savacci back as your points leader. Davalos just off the podium, Webb running out your top 5. But We still have approximately 4 laps to go. So, as we've seen, a lot usually happens in the last 4 laps anyway. Just like this battle, I don't think we've seen the last of it.
Behind them, you have Forkner, McElrath, Osborne, Tonis, Webb 9th, Mitchell Harrison 10th, and a tough race for Plessinger's back there at 11th. Jordan Smith is 12th. So Chamart continuing to work on Davalos as Amart is within 1.3 seconds now. Your leader Savatgy, and just like that, Jeremy Martin is into 3rd.
Yeah, just went through the roughest part of the track up the inside, but just, you know, really railed that corner. He was fully committed. The minute he saw Davalos go to the outside, he knew, I got to dive up the inside, but I got to make this happen. And that fender, I think it's bugging me more than it might be bugging him. I don't know, because
I can't stand this thing. Just fall off, all right?
I know, do something. Stop flapping.
Okay, so he's gotten around. Davalos will update you on the leaders. Savatgy continues to lead. Alex Martin is there. Now, Alex...
He's been there for a little while.
But he just keeps getting closer and closer, and now it's on. And, yeah, Alex had a big weekend last week. First ever overall win. First time he was ever the points leader. But he told me it wasn't about last week. It's about doing it week after week. He celebrated last week by eating a gluten-free pizza. No cake, no cookies, no ice cream, no beer, no celebrating at all, really. Just stuck to the program, drove to this race. He and Jeremy are going to take residence back in their home in Minnesota after this. So they drove halfway here this week, and they'll drive another 12 hours back to Minnesota after this one. So this guy is a true working man's hero, Alex Martin, 8th-year pro, finding another level. You don't see that happen very often. He's going after the Moto win, but don't count Savatgy out. He's hard to pass, and now that Alex is there, I don't think he's just going to roll over.
Absolutely not, but 3 laps to go, because the next time they come around will be 2-lap board. So at this point, it's pretty simple to figure out how much time you got to get to make this happen. Got some lap traffic. I think it was Tapia. He gets out of the way. But Alex did lose a few bike lengths. Oh, and also lost a few there. Didn't quite get that downhill clean. But he's showing the pace where he can catch up very quickly.
So Alex, that exchange did not work in his favor, and all the work he did to just slowly close on Savatgy, he's got to do it again. But we saw this at the opening round of the season in Hangtown. It looked like Martin might get the Moto win as he closed on Savatgy. Savatgy able to respond. He rides very well under pressure. Hey, we were talking about that flopping front fender here on Jeremy Martin's bike.
Watch this thing coming down the hill and tell me it's not frustrating. I mean, it's not costing him horsepower or speed, but yeah, it's definitely a distraction, because it's in your vision, you know, your peripheral.
And you're trying to aim that bike to get into the perfect spot in these ruts, man.
It's almost like a telescope on a gun. You find that, you know, and these fenders almost have a point at the very front, but it makes it look like just that, like an arrow. It's showing you where you're going. So when that front end's turned, you know it's not good if you're going straight.
Alex trying to buckle back down and go after Savatgy again. Beginning of this lap, he lost a little bit of ground. Can he close back in? Drag race past the Fram Mechanics area. Should be 2 to go now as they make this right-hand turn. Here's the finish line.
And you will see the 2-lap car. There it is. It is out. 2 laps to go. So for Alex, you've been riding great all day. The result didn't show it in Moto 1, but the comeback was phenomenal. Finish this day off on a high note and try and get that win.
And you got to remember how badly it started for him as he got pinched off the start.
And almost got caught up in that carnage, so...
Yeah, so he's lucky to have even survived at all. So he has mounted an incredible comeback. We'll show you exactly what happened to Alex off the start in just a moment. This is how this moto began for him.
He is right in here, and watch right when that gate drops. You'll see that blue bike just get buried, watch pinched, and he's behind them immediately and almost gets collected, and that just goes around. And if you look back in the picture, you see the red background. He came in that turn on the right-hand side of the stream, but look, hugs it up the inside. He's hugging the bales, actually almost lost the front end, but came out in about 10th place from being behind the whole pack. So Another one of those damage control situations.
And then marching forward the entire moto. But he's been able to make up the ground on Joey Savacci, but he hasn't quite been able to show him a wheel. And we've seen this several times, man. Savacci rides so well under pressure. Did it a couple times in Supercross this year, dealing with guys like Cooper Webb. They get to him, but he does not give you an opening. He doesn't make mistakes.
And you got to imagine too, for Alex Martin, if he doesn't win this moto, he's going to be a little frustrated. He's going to realize I was the fastest guy to go 8-2, which will get him whatever overall, maybe a fifth or something. That's frustrating. At least with a win in the second moto, it's more like, hey, if I didn't get caught up in, you know, the other bit of carnage, it was my day to have. So I think for Alex Martin, mentally, this moto win would be huge for him. But with Joey Savacci, dominated round one, not so good last week at Glen Helen. This would be call it the rebound ride that he needed just to take care of the rumors, the speculation of can he handle the pressure, can he handle the red plate? Because he said it just seems like that red plate carries a lot of weight. White flag, 1 lap to go.
Well, if he holds on, he'll have that red plate back, I believe, when this is over, the end of the day. So Savacci, I asked him what happened last week. He said, I just didn't feel good. And I said, you mean sick not feel good or ill not feel good? He said, I don't know. I don't know. We're moving on. And he has certainly done it. Should have won the first moto, was leading it, crashed, held on for second. Hopes to win the second moto. He's going to have to deal, though, with Alex Martin down the stretch. But considering how much ground Alex made up on him these last 3 laps, really impressive for Savacci to not let him get any closer. And in fact, he's stretching it out.
Exactly. Every time Alex puts on that charge, Joey does not tense up or, you know, ride tight. He just rides very loose and relaxed and keeps running his lines. So for Alex, he's trying to find different lines, or where can I pass Savacci? And a couple spots he's actually made a little mistake, and then Gates right there. Alex is crushing that downhill. He's just going down on the outside, barely touching the brakes, railing all the way around. Right now, championship points, Joey Savacci would have a 3-point lead over Jeremy Martin, and then Alex would be 9 behind Webb, Plessinger. So, yeah, one Kawasaki and then the whole Star Racing team pretty much behind him. Half a lap to go.
Well, that's got to be the frustrating thing for Alex, to feel like he was maybe the fastest guy here today, and he's going to hand that points lead over to Savacci. But he had plenty of opportunity to get him in this moto. Savacci has ridden very well down the stretch.
And if I'm looking at lap times, best lap time from both these guys was a 2:12. Their last lap was still in the 2:12s. These guys are pushing it 25 seconds ahead of brother Jeremy.
Alex going to make one more run at it. He's got a couple sections where he closes right up.
He's running out of time. He's only got 4 corners to go.
White kicked sideways out of those ruts. He was lucky to just stay on 2 wheels.
I think that may have done it. There's not enough time unless Savacci makes a mistake. This section here, it's easy to make a mistake. It's an off-camber roller section. Savacci crushes it. I think that was it, Jason. That's all he needed.
So much work for those guys just to pick the bike up to that section. These are 200-plus pound motorcycles. We've been racing for 35 minutes, and they were strong right to the end. Joey Savacci answers the questions. He wins the overall at Lakewood and takes the points lead back.
What a race, man. He held on to that one. Alex Martin had a ton of pace. Savacci stepped it up. Now we just got to wait to see if Jeremy Martin can round off 2 of the brothers on a 3-step podium.
Second week in a row that the 2 brothers are up there. Jeremy trying to take 3rd at the moto. That will be good enough for 2nd overall behind Savacci. Alex should be 3rd overall. Joey Savacci, I don't know where the guy that raced last week was, but if you're Mitch Payton, the owner of the team, you hope he never comes back. This is the Joey Savacci that you want.
You hope it was just a tear-off. It's now in the recycle bin being recycled. It'll never happen again.
Yeah, get that guy to some other team. This is the Joey Savacci that they want to see. And George is going to go check in with him right now.
Yes, I'll let him get everything off, take a breath of water. Huge congratulations here to Joey Savacci. You have taken that red plate back. It is yours again. You're leading by 3 points. Last weekend you said was just a bad weekend. You just weren't feeling it, but you showed that you're definitely feeling it this weekend.
Yeah, like you said, it's good. Almost a picture-perfect weekend. You know, qualified second. Led that first moto for a long time and made just a bad mistake. But I got back to the rig and old Ricky left me a motivational text message. So it's good. Got the red plate back. That's awesome. But I mean, overall, I'm just pumped. Last weekend, I was a little under the weather. Wasn't feeling good. Head wasn't there. Went home to the farm with Jeannie and Ricky, my trainer Clint, Big Rick. We put in a lot of work. So we came back out. My Monster Energy Personal Kawasaki Dunlop tires. We got to a great start. Fox, Scott goggles, Bell helmets, Specialized, VP Racing, Brace Guy. You know, just the whole team. Mitch, Bones, everyone for believing in me, my mechanic. You know, my family, my girlfriend. So it's a good way to go into this 1 week break. And yeah, I'm pumped.
Well, our red plate holder, Joey Savacci, not even out of breath. Look, there's no sweat there. I don't understand it.
It helps when you're getting advice and training from Ricky Carmichael, the greatest of all time. It paid off today. July 16th, motocross, BMX, skateboard, inline, and scooter athletes from around the globe will push themselves and action sports to a whole new level. It's the Nitro World Games, live in prime time, July 16th on NBC. Travis Pastrana and his buds of the Nitro Circus.
Hey, you know it's going to be crazy.
Absolutely. Hey, here's your Lucas Oil race recap from our 250 race that just wrapped up. Hard charge by Alex Martin through the field. Gets to second around Martin Davalos. He wasn't done. He went after the leader, Joey Savacci. But credit to Savacci. When he got there, he didn't roll over. Jeremy Martin, Alex's brother, also makes the move late. Davalos salvaging some points with third.
Yeah, with that floppy front fender, he still gets through, but Savacci just did not relinquish the lead late in the moto. Alex Martin gave it everything he had, but just not quite enough. Great pace from these guys, second moto, but at the end of the day, the 37 would hold on and just do enough.
Absolutely, and he did have the fastest lap of that moto, by the way, so he earned it absolutely. And going to have the points lead again after handing it over last week. So a great day for Savacci and great sportsmanship here as he and Alex Martin high-five each other. Here's your overall when we combine both motos. The Martin brothers on the podium again. Osborne squeezes Webb in the tiebreaker to take fourth overall. And Mitchell Harrison putting another one of those Yamahas in the top 10. Let's send it to Georgia.
Yes, Jeremy Martin, second overall today. Jeremy, you're leaving Lakewood. You've got great result. You're going to be going home for 2 weeks now, back home in Minnesota with your brother. You guys are driving home. What's your plan for the next 2 weeks? You're going to be pushing each other, I'm sure.
Yeah, hopefully that's the plan. I don't know. The team wants Alex to go to south of the border, and they, you know, and I wasn't gonna go there. So, you know what? I'm looking forward to going home, get to see the family, get to see the dogs, and enjoy growing up. I grew up riding Millville, so it's always nice to go home and to go back and ride there. So, it was a good day today. These guys were on it. I tried to. My brother went by me. I tried, and as he passed me, he was like, "Woohoo!" So he was on it, and Joey was on it, and it's making for a good series. So I love a challenge, and I can't wait for High Point.
Well, best of luck and congratulations, Jeremy Martin.
I actually thought I heard a little yelling, something going on, like a woo, and apparently it was. So yeah, Savacci back in the lead.
Points are still close. They're not as close to where when we came in, but if you're Cooper Webb in fourth, you're within 13. You're still well on the hunt. Let's go back to Georgia.
Yes, Alex Martin, we just spoke to your brother Jeremy, and he told me that as you passed him, you did a little woo-hoo. Is that right?
Yeah, I was cheering him on as I was passing him, but no, it was, you know, it was kind of a up and down day for sure. In that first moto, my teammate, we were 1, 2, 3, and 4, and Aaron just got cross-roaded up there, and his bike cleaned me off my bike, and my throttle cables were broken, and front brake was all messed up, and just tried to do damage control, and somehow was able to get back to 8th. You know, I knew I had the speed, just needed to get a start. It wasn't the best start in that second moto, but you know, was able to pick off 3 or 4 guys, and we got going, and it was just Joey and I, and that was a heck of a battle. It was fun. You know, yo-yoing back and forth, and he had his spots on the track, he was better, and then I had my spots, and a little mistake, and he'd inch out on me, and I tried to get close on that last lap, and it was just like too little too late. But overall, you know, 8-2, it's not terrible. We're for sure still in the points, and you know, I just can't thank everyone enough. Star Racing, Yamalube, Yamaha, Rockstar, Thor, Parts Unlimited, Ride, 100% Goggles, Garnet, CTI, Braces, everybody that's been behind me. Thanks, guys.
Well, congratulations. Real brotherly love there. Alex Martin taking the overall third.
When NBCSN's live coverage of Lucas Oil Pro Motocross returns.
No racer ever wants to stop racing, and most people don't get to choose, you know, when they're done. They're either forced by they can't get a ride or injuries. No racer ever wants to stop, but it's time for me.
You will meet the popular BTO KTM rider, Andrew Short. as he takes the last laps of a very successful career.